The video begins with a professor named Patiya who teaches health science. Patiya's students like her very much. A boy, the son of a wealthy man, teased one of the students. The professor immediately punished him by hitting him and expelled him from the classroom. Shortly after, the administration office was called. The professor stated that this boy did not deserve to study in this place. However, the boy's father began insulting her with harsh words. But she told him that if she saw this boy again in her class, she would not hesitate to hit him more than once. We see Patiya serving in the market, where people respect the professor. When she returned home, her neighbor visited, an elderly man who was the father of that boy. He advised his son that adults should not be entrusted with the left hand. It is better to use the right hand. The professor told him that there was no problem and that his son was good. Patiya wants to marry off her eldest daughter, and the family of the prospective bridegroom visited the house. This family began to joke about her sons because she sent them to the military. One son died in the war. Only one son remained, who is also at the battlefront. The man said that he sent one child to England and the other to America, where they earn a lot of money. His mother responded that he sent his children to work for him to earn wealth, while she sent hers so that he could sleep peacefully. Clearly, this family's only inheritance is the military service. We see a senior captain named Ajay, currently assigned to security. He was called for an operation with his friend to disarm a bomb attached to a vehicle. His friend, Mr. Barset, could not understand the bomb and its wires. Immediately, Ajay arrived on the scene and, having expert knowledge of how to disarm bombs, succeeded in deactivating it. It became clear that the bandits who planted the bomb were not far from the place. They were immediately discovered because their mouth was covered. As the bandit fled, he caught a random man, forcibly tied his mouth, pretending that he was the bandit. The man shouted, "Bandits, here I am. I caught the bandits." But Ajay shot him in the head. Barset asked how he knew the man was a bandit. Ajay replied, "Look at the man's shoes. Their colors are different and not the same design." In the next scene, Professor Patiya called her son who was in the military. Her son's name is also Ajay. The mother called her son for the wedding of his sister, which would take place tomorrow, and he was obliged to attend. He told her he would finish the last operation and then return home. The military received information that bandits had kidnapped a school where students studied. The operation was led by the two captains named Ajay. Finally, they arrived at the school that the bandits had kidnapped. They entered the school quietly while the bandits did not notice. Shortly after, a fierce battle took place. The leader of the bandits began insulting the soldiers, saying that they did not even know why they were fighting and that they were dogs serving the government and only obey orders. Ajay, the last surviving son of the professor's family, showed bravery by rushing toward the bandits. Unfortunately, the area was trapped with a mine, which caused Ajay to suffer severe injuries from the explosion. The soldiers began to rush him to the medical facility. We see him holding a picture of his family in his hand. The commander told the other captain, also named Ajay, that he had not made any mistakes. He entered the back part of the building and stopped a man who was a robber. After defeating the man, instead of taking him to jail, he shot him in the head immediately. After that, the kidnapped students were rescued. Ajay was taken to the medical center. The senior commander said that someone from Ajay's family was getting married, so because Ajay's health was critical, someone had to be chosen to replace Ajay in that family's place. Captain Ajay requested that he be given this task, and it was approved. His friend Barset agreed. On the other hand, we see a minister who is greatly feared by the local community. He made his teacher an advisor to reduce the evil he causes. Shortly after, the minister received news that there was a protest in the city. The protest leader refused to leave until they got what they wanted. But men who work for the minister came to the place, and the protesters fled, leaving only the protest leader behind. The minister told the leader that he could kill him any minute and said, "I gave you a second chance. Leave here and don't let me see you again." Meanwhile, Ajay and his friend are heading to Professor Patiya's house. Inside the train, we see a very troubled family. The father wants to marry off the youngest daughter, named Simitai. They are going to the man who will marry her. To cancel the wedding, Simitai asked the man who checks tickets on the train to marry her. She, her siblings, and her mother begged the man to pretend to be a suitor. The man agreed and approached the girl's father to ask for her hand. But the father realized it was a scheme and rejected the man's proposal. At the next stop, when the train halted, the girl who wanted to escape saw Ajay running toward the train, which changed her mind, and she returned to the train. She told her mother, and they immediately went to Ajay's room. They told him that this girl was being forced into a marriage she did not want and asked him to pretend to be a suitor and tell her father. This family is a troubled one. He agreed and wanted to help them. Ajay approached the father and asked why he was forcing his daughter into marriage. The father replied, "Sit down. I have a story to tell you. When I sent my eldest daughter to college, the very next day she brought me a man, and the next daughter also come with a man. Their mother accepted their marriages. One of those men stole gold, which was brought home and discovered by the police. I was imprisoned for 3 months. The punishment in jail caused my fingers to stiffen. When Ajay learned about the girl's parents, he sided with the father, criticizing the mother and daughters. Finally, Ajay and his friend arrived at Professor Patia's house. The house did not look like a place where a wedding would happen. They asked the old neighbor what happened there, but he did not answer. Immediately, they went to the university where the teacher worked, but did not find any information about the teacher. We see Professor Patia hiding her face while buying something from a small shop nearby. She hides her daughters in a secret place, and it is clear that there is trouble and a bandit group is looking for her and her daughters. Immediately, the bandit group arrived. Patia began hiding herself and her children, but they made noise that caught the bandits' attention. One of them used a rifle because they were hiding behind pillars, but Patia grabbed the rifle. The man saw the rifle covered with blood, but Patia smeared the blood with a bird. The men thought the bird had been stabbed by the rifle. The bandits then left the place. The man went to the minister he worked for and told him that he had not found Patia. The minister was not satisfied with this and told him to keep searching and not return without capturing her. The 2 soldiers went to the police station to file a complaint, but when they said her name, the commander laughed and told them to leave the station. Shortly after, a soldier told them that someone had filed a complaint a short while ago, but the person had left and they did not see his face. Ajay asked the boy who was serving tea if he knew the teacher. The boy said he knew her, but had not seen her recently. We see Patia hiding her children somewhere. A man approached her and told her that the car they were going to leave with was ready. She wanted to escape the city. Immediately, the bandits saw the daughters of Professor Patia and came out. The young boy saw this and ran to Ajay, shouting that the teacher was there. The 3 daughters were brought to the most popular place in the city. The bandits shouted that the professor should come there. The mother appeared. The man took a hoe and threw it at Patia, but Ajay arrived just in time to save her from the hoe. Ajay told the mother that her son was on a mission and could not come now, but that he would arrange the wedding. While Ajay was talking to the mother, a bandit intervened. Ajay became very angry and started beating the bandits. Everyone there was shocked. Finally, he warned the bandit leader not to try attacking the family again. The fearful leader went to the minister and told him that he had seen a fearless man who knew how to break bones. That night, he began interrogating the family. The mother told him that the old neighbor's son was killed. The doctor said the man had committed suicide, but she noticed that the artery in the left hand had been cut. He was left-handed, she told the doctor. The doctor said to file a complaint with the police. Then she and the old man went to the police station, but the commander told them the minister was behind the issue and they should go to him. When she went to the minister, he told her to withdraw the complaint before trouble started. But she refused. He said he would kill anyone who opposed him. The next day, when she went to the university, she was accused of cheating students on exams. She was expelled from the university. Worried, she went to the police station to take back her complaint. When given the withdrawal paper, she took it to the minister. The minister asked his advisor what punishment should be given to students who cheat. He said to stand them outside. Patia stood outside until midnight. Then the minister came and told her that she had withdrawn her complaint. He said, "You are a woman. There are no men at your house." He ordered that Patia be killed. Realizing she was not safe there, she threw a stone at the lamp and escaped. Ajay told her to feed her children dinner and that no one would harm her again. That night he guarded the house as he did in the military. The next day, the 3 of them came to the police station, but the commander refused to file a complaint against the minister. After that, Patia ordered that the man be taught a lesson. They beat him until he agreed to file a complaint against the minister. A reporter asked what had happened to him. The commander said an earthquake had struck his house. In the next scene, they went directly to the minister's house. But he was not there. He was at a meeting. Shortly after, he came home angry and was surprised by how confidently Patiya sat in his house. He asked who she had brought with her. Was it the military son of her? He told them they are in his house, and he told how many men worked for him. Patiya replied that all of his men couldn't stop this man here. The minister ordered his men to rough up Ajay, but instead, they were badly beaten. The minister's speech stopped. Ajay said, "We protect you, and you harm the people." He warned that Patiya's rights must be restored within 48 hours. Before leaving, the professor said what she had told him before. "Your house needs a man now." After that, they went to the house of the man who was supposed to marry the professor's daughter. Ajay told him about the difficulties the family faced and suggested continue the wedding. Before leaving, he told them there was no compulsion. If they wanted, he could cancel the wedding, but they had to inform him. Professor Patiya returned to the university where she worked. Ajay was always there, trying to fill the place of her son. Once Patiya asked about his mother, and he said both his mother and father died when he was young and that he grew up in an orphanage. The other family accepted the marriage, and happy days began. There was a beautiful wedding at the house. Days later, the senior military commander called Patiya and told her that her son's condition was still critical. But the professor told him that Ajay had filled her son's place. The next day, Ajay and his friend went to an officer. This officer was the one supposed to marry the troubled girl Simitai. The father said his daughter was very stubborn. Ajay and his friend waited outside, but when they saw the girl, they hid their faces, surprised by what she was doing there. The officer said, "Follow me. I am going to marry her soon." Ajay was happy about this. They all went to the interrogation room, and the first task was to investigate people who had filed complaints against the minister. There were 3 important people whose phones were hacked. They began visiting the families of these 3 people. The first family said their daughter killed herself because of love. The second was a man working for the government whose wife lied and said they separated. The third person was missing. It was unknown if he was alive or dead. When they returned to the interrogation room, everyone wondered what they had discovered. Ajay said the first family was not the biological family of the girl. She was given a fake birth certificate and grew up in an orphanage. He thought the second family had not separated and loved each other, but the minister was forcing the matter, threatening to kill them. Finally, they all agreed that one of the 3 was alive. Ajay called the minister and asked where the man was hiding. The minister said he was in the forest called Charmala, a place very difficult to survive. Ajay took a car and headed to the forest. Patiya sat in front of the minister's house and told him she would not leave until she called by her son. Ajay arrived at the indicated place and found the man they were looking for tied up. Then Ajay was attacked by tough men and beaten. But he realized the most important person among them was the elder. He focused his attack on the elder and eventually defeated him. Immediately, he called Patiya and told her that he had captured the man who had all the evidence and was coming. Ajay began to interrogate the man whose name was Ramakrishna. He worked at the highest office in the city and was visited by oppressed people and farmers. Aid organizations sent money to those people, but for the last 6 months, they had not seen any money. Rafi, who worked at the bank, was asked for help. Fake accounts and names were created, and when investigated, it was found that the minister deposited the money into his own account. This was proven by the girl who was killed and raised in the orphanage. After this information, they gave it to the 2 men. Bribes were given to bank officials, and the central government was unaware of this. That is how the minister earned a lot of money. When the minister realized his information was found, he attacked the 3 people. 2 were killed there, the left-handed son and the girl who grew up in the orphanage, and the narrator was taken to the wilderness. Ajay was given the most important evidence to prosecute the minister. The next day, the parliament and cabinet held a session. Ajay arrived and started to prepare a bomb. They did not listen, but he warned that if they did not remain silent, the bomb would be activated in 3 minutes. Then he showed all the evidence he had and told them they had agreed to rob the people. When other ministers realized what he had done, they began leaving his party. Meanwhile, the family of the big wedding was mourning. Ajay's commander was called and told that Patiya's son Ajay had died, but he had not told the mother. At night, Patiya sensed her son had died from Ajay's changed expression. She said she always wanted her children to join the military, but unfortunately, none had survived. Both had died. She cried there. The next day, The coffin was brought home, and a national funeral was prepared. Patiya was given her son's clothes. Now the family lives in peace. Patiya works at the university. On the other hand, Ajay told the minister to join the military, or else he would hand over the evidence he had to the court. That was the only way to fix his mistake. 3 months later, we see Minister Nalagander has become Captain Nalagander. Today's video ends here. If you liked the video, please like, join us, and subscribe. Thank you.